नमस्कार दोस्तों और जय हिंद। आप सभी को स्वागत है इन माय चैनल 1971 वॉर बुक सीरीज। तो दोस्तों आज मैं एक ट्रिब्यूट वीडियो बनाने वाला हूं ऑन मेजर जनरल प्रमोद कुमार बत्रा अति विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल। नाउ व्हाई एम आई गोइंग टू मेक दिस वीडियो? ओके, लेट्स कम टू अ हिस्टोरिकल फोटोग्राफ, दिस वन. You can see an M-24 Chaffee tank stuck on the Hardinge bridge. This is the same Hardinge bridge जहां पे Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora and Lieutenant General Tapishwar Narayan Raina, they had taken a photograph, I think, commemorating a victory over the Hardinge bridge. The 4 Mountain Division with a squadron of the 45 Cavalry Regiment was involved in this action near the Hardinge bridge. इस टैंक को तबाह किया था मेजर प्रमोद कुमार बत्रा, अल्फा स्क्वाड्रन कमांडर ऑफ द 45 कैवलरी रेजिमेंट. उनके स्क्वाड्रन armed with PT-76 tanks were equipped to fight for the 4 Mountain Division to support the infantry actions. बांग्लादेश की आजादी के जंग में ये स्क्वाड्रन और ये पूरा रेजिमेंट का कंट्रीब्यूशन इज स्पेक्टेक्युलर. मैं मेरे पिछले वीडियोस में आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड इट वेरी वेल, ऑफ कोर्स with a lot of help from the veterans of the 45 Cavalry Regiment who took part in these operations alongside the infantry battalions. लेकिन Alpha Squadron का बात थोड़ा अलग है. Alpha Squadron was the only squadron, I would say, armored squadron equipped for the entire division, for an entire division. उनके 4 टैंक्स तबाह किए गए थे at the Battle of Kushtia. Major Pramod Kumar Batra was squadron commander at that time, had taken part in literally all the actions where the elements of the 4 Mountain Division had gone in, except for the Battle of Kushtia. He was there all the way from Chuadanga to Chinaida to the roadblocks installed by the infantry battalions, subjected to heavy artillery firing, lekin he did his job well, leading his squadron in all the battles. उनका करियर शुरू हुआ था, ऑफ कोर्स आई वुड से, फ्रॉम द 1965 वॉर एज अ कैप्टन इन द आर्मर्ड डिलीवरी रेजिमेंट, बट ही सॉ हेवी फाइटिंग इन द 71 बांग्लादेश लिबरेशन वॉर. मुक्ति वाहिनी के साथ भी वो थोड़ा काम किए थे, यूजिंग देम एज गाइड्स, बट मोस्टली इन द हेवियर बैटल्स वेयर द टैंक्स वर इन्वॉल्व्ड, स्पेशली इन क्रॉसिंग रिवर्स. यस, he was the first person to cross the Madhumati river, I would say, first person from the armored corps, driving a PT-76 tank himself, with the commander of the 62 Mountain Brigade, Brigadier Rajinder Nath, being on top of the tank. 62 Mountain Brigade used the power of the 45 Cavalry Regiment, the PT-76 tanks, extensively. उनका leadership के वजह से the 4 Mountain Division, with the support of these tanks, performed exceptionally and very fast unless disaster struck at Kushtia. The only officer killed from the 45 Cavalry Regiment at Kushtia, ambushed by Pakistani tanks, of course, Pakistani M-24 Chaffee tanks, was 2nd Lieutenant Samir Chandavarkar, posthumously awarded the Sena Medal. Major General PK Batra, Pramod Kumar Batra sir, still mourns his death, even after 54 years. It was a mishap, but it happened nevertheless, and a lot of people had to pay the price, including the infantry unit 22 Rajput that went in with the tanks. 5 tanks went in, only 1 made it out. But Major PK Batra, squadron commander, losing these tanks, didn't lose hope. He crossed the Madhumati river and moved all the way up to Faridpur, where he was also present in the surrender ceremony, जहां पे पाकिस्तानी 9 Infantry Division के GOC Major General M.H. Ansari had surrendered to Major General M.S. Barar, the GOC of the Indian Army's 4 Mountain Division. The picture you can see where Brigadier Rajinder Nath is also present. Here Major PK Batra, young Major PK Batra, was also present, and he took this surrender, and I think it was him who took the surrender of the GSO-1 of the 9 Infantry Division, Pakistani Army 9 Infantry Div. As you might know that being an armored corps officer, coming from that background, it might be exceptionally difficult to command an infantry brigade. But he did that. As Brigadier, he commanded the legendary Chindit's brigade, and he took part in holding back any Chinese intrusion in the border of Arunachal Pradesh. For this action, he was specifically awarded the Ati Vishisht Seva Medal. These are his qualities as an Indian Armed Forces officer. But as a man that I've seen myself interacting with me, I think at least twice in a week, this man, Major General PK Batra, is a very humble and down-to-earth person. My pleasant interactions had always been regarding focusing on more work regarding the 1971 war, more talks regarding bringing out the Indian Armed Forces contribution in the liberation of Bangladesh. And I didn't talk to you about this, but I do a lot of paintings on the 1971 war. It was him who promoted this fact that please do this, keep this war history alive through paintings also, not only videos and writings. He has written a lot of articles on the crossing of the Madhumati River, the qualities of the PT-76 light amphibious tank, and also the contributions of Alpha Squadron of 45 Cavalry in the entire Bangladesh operations. He wants to keep this history alive, and he does understand that it should have been done long time ago in the 90s, when the history was still very much alive in the minds of the people. A very good guide for me regarding making these videos, asking how to go about with it, and also getting me in touch with many officers from the 45 Cavalry Regiment. Major General PK Batra, I would like to thank you, sir, for helping me in preserving the 1971 war history, and also, sir, for your services in the Indian Armed Forces to keep the liberty and freedom of this country intact and alive for us to share and cherish, and also to liberate a suffering humanity in 1971. Thank you, sir, for all you have done.